breaking this morning, part of Oro Quincy Highway in Orville is closed at this time.
Fire crews are on scene right now, and so is Action News Now reporter Mackenzie Nelson. She's got the details for us. Hi, Mackenzie.
Good morning. That's exactly right. I'm here at Oro Quincy Highway where fire crews are on scene. Joining me now, Lieutenant Bud England with the Oroville Police Department. Can you tell us a little bit about what's happening here this morning?
About 5 o'clock this morning, 5:15, we were called out for power lines down and arcing on the roadway. When we arrived, we found one secondary line that was on the ground. About 4 to 5 residents have been without power for the last hour, and we are now getting PG&E and crews in here to mitigate the problem.
And any danger? I mean, you guys are directing traffic to go the other way. What do we need to know? What do we need to be cautious about?
Well, always power lines. We treat power lines hot every time that we go out to a call with power lines involved because it's very dangerous, especially when you have the higher voltage. And so we want to just let people know that, hey, we want you to be careful around down power lines. We treat them as they are hot, and we use all safety precautions when we're around those power lines.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And again, like Lieutenant England said, they are redirecting traffic to go a different route, and PG&E has not arrived yet, but they are on their way. Reporting live, I'm Mackenzie Nelson. Let's send it back to you guys in the studio.
Mackenzie, thank you again. That is Oro Quincy Highway. Avoid the area if you can.
It's Wednesday, February 24th, 2016. Today on Action News Now at 5.
The former Paradise police officer who shot and killed a man on Thanksgiving Day is expected to appear in court today and enter a plea. The details coming up.
A tree trimmer is killed on the job after falling 75 feet to his death in Magalia. What sheriff's officials say happened. Straight ahead.
Plus, presidential candidates vying for the White House are turning their focus to Super Tuesday following last night's Republican caucuses in Nevada. We'll take a look at who came out on top coming up. You're watching Action News Now at 5. Good Wednesday morning. I'm Megan McMahon.
And I'm Melissa Deitch. You're watching Action News Now. Let's get a quick check of our weather forecast with Court Clapping in the AccuWeather Center. Hey, Court.
Hey there, Megan and Alyssa. Another warm one out there for your North State forecast on this Wednesday. Temperatures expected to be the warmest of the week so far, and the warming trend is going to continue through the end of the work week. Now, what's going on outside right now? You can see mostly clear skies across the valley. Earlier on, we were seeing some thin clouds heading through, and it looks like that'll be the story of the day, a mix between sun and clouds and slightly warmer temperatures with very modest winds ahead for your Wednesday. So extremely mild conditions and warm temperatures for the afternoon. Coming up in just a bit, we'll check back in, take a look at what you could expect to head through the end of the work week, and when's the next chance for a little wet weather heading your way. Megan?
Thank you, Court. The former Paradise police officer who shot and killed a suspected DUI driver last November is expected in Butte County Superior Court today to enter a plea. Action News Now reporter Mackenzie Nelson joins us live from Orville with the latest details. Good morning, Mackenzie.
Good morning, Megan. I'm standing outside the Butte County Superior Courthouse where former Paradise police officer Patrick Feaster is expected to make a court appearance today and enter a plea. This video is from his last court appearance earlier this month. Feaster is facing a criminal charge of involuntary manslaughter with a special enhancement of being armed with a firearm from the death of 26-year-old Andrew Thomas. Feaster claims he accidentally shot Thomas Thanksgiving Day, but prosecutors say he failed to report it for 11 minutes. The maximum sentence he faces is 4 years in county jail on the involuntary manslaughter charge, with an additional year for the enhancement of being armed with a firearm. Again, Feaster is expected to appear in court later on today. He is expected to enter a plea today. Reporting live, I'm Mackenzie Nelson. Back to you guys in the studio.
Mackenzie, thank you. An accident highlighting the dangers of working with trees now. The Occupational and Safety Health Administration is investigating an accident in Magalia where a tree trimmer fell to his death. It's not yet clear how the accident happened, but the Butte County Sheriff's Office says 46-year-old Joey Perkins was killed as he trimmed tree branches just after 10 yesterday morning on the 6,000 block of Rosewood Drive, falling 75 feet to his death. As he landed, investigators say one of the tree branches fell on top of him. Investigators say he was not an employee of, but contracted for the day with Four Seasons Tree Service. Action News Now reporter Cecile Juliet has more.
This is a climbing line. This is your saddle.
Tuesday's accident in Magalia highlights the dangers of what makes living on the ridge so special.
My heart is just sunken into my stomach, and I feel so sorry for the family.
Accidents can easily happen, working with trees 60 feet in the air.
It's scary. If you're not scared, you don't belong up there.
Even on the ground.
It's a dangerous industry.
This clips around your chest.
Mark and Cherie Wesley run M&S Tree Service. They have several climbers and stress safety above all else.
We worry about them every day.
People get complacent when they do this job every day. You need to inspect the trees that you're going into. You need to inspect your gear. You need to inspect the limbs you're tying in on.
It's very dangerous, and it's definitely something that shouldn't be taken lightly.
For Action News Now, I'm Cecile Juliet.
Cecile, thank you. M&S Tree Service hosts a free tree trimming safety seminar every Wednesday at their shop on Park Avenue at 7 a.m. It's free for anyone in the tree industry.
In decision 2016, Donald Trump heads into Super Tuesday claiming victory in 3 states so far. He swept the Nevada caucuses last night, but they're still counting votes this morning. We still don't know who came in behind him. Tracy Potts has more, including a look ahead at the big prize on March 1st.
It's going to be an amazing 2 months.
Donald Trump already looking ahead to Super Tuesday after his victory in Nevada. People standing in line for hours.
How long have you been waiting?
About 2 hours. Entrance polls show Trump dominating every key voting block, scoring high with voters looking for outsiders and looking for change.
Because we need change and we need Trump. We really do. I'm paying attention.
Second place is still a toss-up this morning, and so is Super Tuesday. 12 states, including Texas, home of Ted Cruz.
Let me tell you something. You look at those Super Tuesday states, they like their guns, too.
The Midwest gets its first chance to vote on Super Tuesday. Marco Rubio's already in Michigan.
We are even going to campaign to people that are fans of Ohio State. Everyone. Is that too far? Is that too much?
What I wanted to do.
In Michigan, polls show John Kasich averaging second place, with Trump still a clear leader. Tracy Potts, Action News Now.
More than 600 delegates will be decided on Super Tuesday. That's half of what's needed to win the nomination. Alyssa?
Megan, thank you. If you are considering running for a Butte County supervisor position, the filing period is now open. The 25-day filing period opened for people seeking to run for one of 3 Butte County supervisor positions at stake during the June 7th primary election. Supervisor districts up for election include District 1, representing the Orrville area, District 4, covering the Southwest County, including Biggs, Durham, and Gridley, and District 5, which encompasses the Paradise Ridge. Candidates have until March 11th to file nomination documents and pay filing fees. The write-in candidate filing period is from April 11th to May 24th. The Siskiyou County town of Weed will be holding a meeting tonight to consider declaring an emergency regarding the potential for a water crisis. The city's 50-year water contract with Roseburg Forest Products is set to expire at the end of June. Officials say they've been negotiating for months but have been unable to reach a new agreement. A spokesperson for Roseburg Forest Products says that the company has been actively working to reach a deal with the city, and they are surprised by the city's decision to declare an emergency. Meanwhile, residents are more than a little concerned as they hear city leaders talk about hiring trucks to deliver water and imposing strict rationing.
To be truly facing losing our water, half the town losing our water, and being restricted to only human consumption or showering, that's horrible.
Tonight's meeting starts at 5:30 p.m. at Weed City Hall. 5:07 on our Wednesday morning. Let's get a check of our weather forecast.
Yeah, it looks like another very comfortable day out there. Spring-like conditions for the afternoon. Temperatures looking to be the warmest of the week so far, and that warming trend continues, and it looks like it's going to really hit the ceiling tomorrow. So that looks like it's going to be the warmest day of the week, but today very comfortable, and light winds also for today. So extremely mild conditions ahead for your Wednesday. Temperatures starting off your morning in the mid to high 40s right now for the valley. 45 degrees for Redding, 46 degrees currently for Red Bluff, 48 degrees in Chico, and 47 degrees for Orrville. Higher elevations falling into the high 20s to low 30s overnight for the northern into the Sierra and southern Cascades. Mid to high 30s in the northern mountains. Dawn calling in 37 degrees from Weaverville and 45 degrees right now up on the ridge in Paradise. Satellite and radar showing a mix of clouds heading through overnight, now thinning out a little bit into the early morning hours. So for the valley today, it does look like we'll continue to see between partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies. Higher elevations look more than likely to start off the day mostly sunny with increasing clouds into the afternoon. So partly cloudy conditions for the afternoon in the mountains. Looks like for the valley, we'll see mostly sunny skies for the better part of your Wednesday forecast. Now, high pressure along the coast and off the coast continuing to be the main impacts on the North State. You can see that next ridge building in right now, and this is going to leave us with dry weather, it looks like, through the end of the work week before finally we see that next chance for showers arriving in the region, mainly Friday night and mostly along the coastal range, but we could see showers developing along parts of the interior of Northern California. As far south looks like is Red Bluff by Saturday morning before really just tapering off. So that's what it looks like we could be seeing ahead for your extended forecast. Another chance for showers brushing the North State Sunday into Monday, and then a much better chance for showers as we head towards the middle of latter part of next week. Now here's a look at that futurecast. You can see bands of moisture making their way closer to the coast, but really just fizzling out as they get a little closer to Northern California. So it does look likely that we'll stay dry on the way through the end of the week. And then again, that slight chance for light showers heading through the northern zones of the state Friday night and through Saturday morning. Now, as far as what you can see for today, temperature starting off your morning in the mid-40s to low 50s at 8 a.m. in the valley. By noon, climbing into the mid-60s with partly cloudy skies and mostly sunny for your afternoon with low to mid-70s ahead for your Wednesday afternoon forecast. Now, mountain areas, as you make your way out the door this morning, temperatures in the high 20s to high 30s. By noon, climbing into the mid-40s to mid-50s and mid-50s to mid-60s for your drive home later today with an increase in clouds expected for the afternoon. Heading into your extended forecast, the heat tops out at 76 degrees tomorrow, still in the mid-70s Friday, dropping into the high 60s Saturday and Sunday, staying in the high 60s Monday before returning to the 70s on Tuesday. Again, the northern zones of the state seeing a chance of showers Friday night in through Saturday morning, then another chance Sunday night through Monday morning. Redding looking likely to see at least a little shower activity, some light showers for Saturday morning with a little bit of a cool down ahead for the upcoming weekend.
The Williams boys basketball team's coach is speaking out about the racist comments during a recent game at UPrep in Redding, how he's defending his athletes. Straight ahead.
And a shocking discovery about the woman accused of killing 2 young children, leaving their bodies inside a storage unit. The latest developments with her when we come right back. Recently, we told you about the racist comments the Williams basketball team endured at the UPrep game in Redding. We talked to a Williams coach who is stepping up now to defend his athletes. Action News Now reporter Daniela Contreras has the story.
Throughout the game, they were saying stuff like, don't forget to pay your child support, you know, you're a felon, because a couple of our kids have tattoos. So they were including that as them spending some, when'd you get out of prison, blah, blah, blah.
This is how the members of Williams Junior Senior High School basketball team were received by UPrep's crowd last Wednesday. Coach Bautista is not speaking on behalf of Williams High School. However, he wanted to defend his athletes and oppose discrimination, since it's not the first time his team faces this.
We've gone through this twice. This is our 3rd time in 4 years, this same group of kids.
The Williams varsity team received not only racial discrimination, but personal attacks to their team members. A UPrep teacher confiscated the signs after the second quarter. The referees couldn't do anything about it since they claimed they didn't have the power to do so. UPrep's principal released this statement. I'm disappointed to share that we had some students make incredibly poor choices that are deeply in contrast with the tenets of our school community, one that promotes inclusion, diversity, and tolerance. We believe that the students involved are learning from the discipline and consequences applied. Bautista decided to keep playing since they didn't want to forfeit and affect their playoff chances.
We use sports as an avenue to learn what's right and wrong and what we can use for other than athletics, you know, in the real world someday for them. So we went ahead and went with it because the kids really wanted to play the game.
In the meantime, Coach Bautista only wants an apology for his athletes.
I would love for the adults that are accountable for this to give them what they deserve, and that's a full public apology. But I want my young men to know that life is full of people that are, you know, a little naive. I know it's 2016 and this shouldn't be happening.
In Williams, Daniela Contreras, Action News Now.
Danielle, thank you. 5:17 is the time now. A new program at Chico State University looks to provide the campus community with another resource to address university-related concerns and disputes. Beginning this semester, 2 newly appointed ombuds can provide CSU students, staff, and faculty with conflict resolution support in a confidential and neutral environment. University President Paul Zink says he's been at 2 other institutions that have used the ombuds program, and it's proven successful.
Provides the campus with another tool in order to deal with issues that need to be resolved. And with the right people serving as the ombuds persons, we have a really good chance of accomplishing that goal.
The Ombuds program is housed in the library as a neutral site for both parties involved. Although it's brand new, Zing says the program has already seen some business. President Obama speaks out about closing the detention center in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. The president announced yesterday that he's sending Congress a plan that would bring dozens of suspected terrorists here to the U.S. His plan would deport any detainees eligible to be deported and house dangerous terror suspects at prisons and military bases here in the U.S. Figuring out what to do with Gitmo has been a hot button political issue since the aftermath of the September 11th terrorist attacks. Obama argues that America is actually less safe housing detainees there because other terrorist groups are using that as a recruiting tool. The House Armed Services Committee has announced they'll hold a hearing. 5:19 is the time now. Coming up next, details on some road work taking place next month in Shasta County that could affect your commute.
Plus, with flu season in full swing, we take a look at what works and what doesn't when it comes to fighting that flu. Next. 6:27 is the time now. The Oscars are coming up this weekend, and if you haven't caught up on the nominated films, there's one you can scratch off your list this week.
Here's Raphael Seth with this week's Video View.
Obviously, the church will fight us very hard.
The pen is mightier than the cross in Spotlight. This film is based on the real-life story of a team of Boston Globe reporters who exposed widespread and systematic abuse within the Catholic Church. This one's nominated for 6 Academy Awards, including Best Picture.
There was a certain level of intensity that was required at all times.
Julia Roberts digs deep in the bonus features for Secret in Their Eyes. She plays a federal agent brought to her knees when her daughter is brutally murdered. The killer goes free, but partner Chiwetel Ejiofor spends years tracking him down so Roberts can do what needs to be done. Dinosaurs find their voices in the extras for The Good Dinosaur. This prehistoric Pixar adventure follows a shy Apatosaurus navigating the landscape of an Earth untouched by killer asteroids, so he befriends a wild child named Spot and a T-Rex crew who help him discover his courage.
We shall create a life out of death.
Harry Potter breaks out his renovate spell in Victor Frankenstein. Daniel Radcliffe is Igor to James McAvoy's mad scientist. The two of them dabble in the dark art of reanimation until the experiment goes too far and creates a monster. Victor Frankenstein is digital this week. That's the box office preview. Raphael Seth, Action News Now.
Also out this week, Finn Wittrock in the Texas football film My All-American.
And speaking of movies, we've reviewed some great films here with our film critic, Forrest Hartman.
We sat down with him this week to see if some of them will wrap up the award season with the biggest honor of all, an Oscar. The Academy Awards are this Sunday. Film critic Forrest Hartman is here to go over some of the biggest awards of the night. We begin with Best Supporting Actor and Actress. Who do you got for us?
Well, let's start with Best Supporting Actress, and I'll start by listing our nominees. We've got Alicia Vikander in The Danish Girl. She plays the wife of a Danish artist who transitioned from man to woman. Very interesting film there. We've got Kate Winslet, who plays, I guess you'd say, the right-hand woman to Steve Jobs in the movie Steve Jobs. We've got Jennifer Jason Leigh, who played a bad guy in the Quentin Tarantino film, The Hateful Eight, or a bad girl, I should say. We've got Rooney Mara in Carol. She plays one of 2 women engaged in a lesbian relationship in 1950s New York. And then we've got Rachel McAdams, who plays a reporter in the film Spotlight.
Okay, a lot of great films you mentioned. Who do you think's going to win?
I'm going with Alicia Vikander in this one, with The Danish Girl, because she won the Screen Actors Guild Guild Award, which is often a predictor. That said, I'm not going to be shocked if Kate Winslet sneaks in and wins this one.
Interesting. Okay, what about Best Supporting Actor?
Well, Best Supporting Actor, I guess we've got to start with Sylvester Stallone because everybody's been talking about him. He reprised his role of Rocky Balboa in the film Creed. We've also got Mark Rylance, who plays a spy in the Steven Spielberg drama Bridge of Spies. We've got Christian Bale, who plays a financial guru in The Big Short. We've got Tom Hardy in The Revenant, and then we've got Mark Ruffalo, again from the film Spotlight. He plays another Boston Globe reporter.
Okay, who do you think is going to win in this category?
I really think this is Sylvester Stallone's year. I mean, just all the buzz is around him, and it seems like, if he doesn't win Best Supporting Actor this year, it's not going to happen.
Really? So you don't think there's a close second in this category?
I don't think there's a close second. If there's a second, it's probably Mark Rylance in Bridge of Spies.
Okay, we'll have to see. Forrest Hartman, thank you so much. And tomorrow, we'll continue with Best Actor and Best Actress.
Looking forward to it. All right, well, coming up next on Action News Now, drivers, listen up. PG&E will be doing some road work in Shasta County next month. How this could affect you, coming up.
And good news at the pump. California's gas tax will soon be reduced. We'll tell you how much when we come right back.
Oil is under pressure again. Jane King is at NASDAQ with that story and more in this morning's Ag and Energy Report. Jane?
Snacking is having a moment, and you're driving it. The food companies are noticing as well. Snacks getting more prominent space on store shelves with some healthier fare being stocked in the produce department. These are high-profit items for food companies as well. Well, First Solar says profits were better than expected, but sales are slowing. They are slowing so much, in fact, that First Solar is pushing some of its projects into 2017. Low energy prices overall are hurting solar as well. Well, oil lost all of its gains from Monday after the Saudi oil minister said a cut in oil production will not happen. While a freeze in production at current levels could happen, an actual cut isn't likely, and that sent oil lower. And South Africa's winemakers winning new markets around the world. The country's winemakers say that exports were up 5% in 2015, and the industry is predicting more growth this year. South Africa is the world's 7th largest wine producer. From the NASDAQ market site in Times Square, I'm Jane King with your Ag and Energy Report.
PG&E crews will be working on a major gas pipeline project next month in Shasta County. They held an open house yesterday afternoon at the Anderson Community Center on Howard Street to discuss the project. PG&E will be conducting gas system maintenance and upgrades, including the installation of safety shutoff valves and pipeline enhancements to enable inspections with innovative robotic technology. Work will occur at various points along a 38-mile stretch of gas transmission pipeline that runs from Balls Ferry and Adobe Roads in Cottonwood to the city of Shasta Lake. There are no natural gas service outages planned during the work for residential or business customers. Some traffic delays can be expected to begin March 1st.
5:27 is the time now. Coming up next on Action News Now at 5:30.
Former Paradise police officer Patrick Feaster is expected to enter a plea in court today. Details coming up.
Plus, we take a closer look at the options Butte County supervisors are considering when it comes to fire protection when we come right back.
That'll do it for us here this morning on Action News Now.
For all the latest local news, sports, and weather, head to our website, actionnewsnow.com, and download our mobile app.
That's right. Make sure to stick around. We'll be back here in 25 minutes with more of your local headlines. Have a great day, and we'll see you back here for Action News Now at noon.